Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, we were discussing the drug addictions, and in the last lecture, there was some voice problem. So, for that, some points are I am revising the points which we have discussed already. We have discussed the definition of the addiction, that is the chronic relapsing brain disease, which is characterized by the compulsive drug seeking behavior and its use without concerning its harmful consequences. So, drug addiction basically causes involuntary changes to the body, and addictions will take away the brain ability to think and to act independently. Living with addiction is like being a robot who is controlled by an outside force. And this addiction is basically a physical is basically a disaster for the physical and the mental growth. We have discussed some symptoms of the drug addiction, which is characterized by the loss of control and the dependent of the drug or the misuse substances for the normal functioning, and the person is continued its usage even with the adverse effects. And initially the drug is taken for the purpose of the euphoria, for the relaxation, and this euphoria and in this euphoria actually undergo desensitization of the nervous system, and this will lead to the development of the tolerance and the physical dependence. After that, the taken amount is not producing the enough effect, so some withdrawal symptoms are starting in producing in the person. These withdrawal symptoms are the characterization of the anxiety, irritability, and the nausea, vomiting, and loss of appetite, etc. And there is three C's of the addiction, which are control, which are the compulsion, and which are the chronicity. So drug abuse is basically a chronic condition in which the person has to use the substances at least for the more than 10 days. Then we have discussed that this is all because of the change in the brain reward pathway, and misuse drug basically hijacking the brain reward pathway. What is brain reward pathway is basically that normally by the natural reward, certain stimulates like food, like excitement, like comfort, like any praise, any success in the life will stimulate the brain reward pathway, which is triggered by the release of the dopamine in the ventral tegmental area of the brain. This area is present in the midbrain, and this area is basically stimulate the dopaminergic pathway. Activation of the VTA area further activate the other dopaminergic neuronal areas of the brain, which are cortex, which are nuclear accumbens, which is mainly both are responsible for the regulation of the pleasure, euphoria, and the motor function, while it also activate the hippocampus through the binding of the dopamine, and hippocampus will learn that will remember and it's stored in its memory that this the person feeling euphoria by using certain types of thing in the life. So this remembering is done by the hippocampus is also involved in the sleep and the cognition. So alteration in the hippocampus function will also responsible for the withdrawal symptoms of the drugs. After the continuous activation of the high level of the dopamine, usually it results in the desensitization of the nervous system, and now the more amount of dopamine is required for the normal stimulus. When the person is taking a drug, it lead to the increased concentration of the dopamine in the synaptic cleft. This synaptic cleft increase in the concentration will change the normal physiology of the person, and the threshold to feel the pleasure will increase. Now more dopamine is usually required to produce such effects. Now the condition is that to achieve the same effect, the person needs more amount of dopamine in the synaptic cleft, and for that person, the person learned that it has easily be achieved by a drug. So the person start needing more drug, and further repeated exposure to dopamine will lead to the desensitization of the neuron and the reward pathway, and the person is now using that drug, and it is suffering from the symptoms of the withdrawals. So the life of the addicted person is entirely changed, and then it should be followed by certain treatment strategy. The treatment strategy is basically there, which is basically behavioral therapy and the counseling therapy. And in this, the patient feel the need of the therapy. Otherwise, the patient is not feeling the need of the therapy, and instead of the treatment, he want to take one or more drug to relieve the symptoms. Then we have certain medication based or drug based treatment to reverse the withdrawal symptoms, to decrease the psychological dependence, and to decrease the other neurological psychological problems which lead to the use of certain types of substances for the misuse person. For example, if there is a depression, if there is an anxiety, so the treatment of the anxiety should be done. Proper counseling should be required because addict has the behavior because addicts want to be normal by the use of the drugs rather than the completely inhibition or abstinence the drug. The effectiveness of the treatment will be show by the person. If the person is start taking the drug in a lesser amount, it decrease the use of the drug, it decreases its criminal activity, it increases its physical workability, and increases the employment, and improves their social and interpersonal functioning. It all shows that the treatment is doing we are perform basically we treat the person in a right way. If the person has the improvement in their physical health, and by virtue of these treatment, the overall personality of the person now improving and producing a good results, then it lead to the good treatment strategy. This is the revision. And secondly, after that we will discuss in the individually that what types of substances are there which may or may not producing the types of addiction. And in this basically we will discuss the first class of the drug, which is the ethanol, barbiturates, and the benzodiazepines. We will discuss one by one. Among them, ethanol is not listed as a schedule of the controlled substances. However, it has a very high abuse liability, and it is clearly misused in a Western society, especially. Then we have the barbiturates. Barbiturates are the Schedule 2 drugs, high potential of the abuse drug. Then we have the benzodiazepines, which are the Schedule 4 drugs. Among all three, basically benzodiazepines are those which have the low potential of the abuse. Short acting barbiturates are the choices which have the high addictive policy or potential. So in the next lecture, in the next part, we will discuss these three chemicals one by one individually. Thank you for watching.